The phrases brothers before hoes and the boys come first are not offensive and actually ring true at times. Before you come at me, I am a woman myself. A lot of my fellow ladies have said that these phrases are offensive and discriminatory against women, but I beg to differ. I think that these statements actually make decent points most of the time. You should be there for the people who have been loyal to you, your friends, rather than the women who may come and go throughout your life. Now if this is a woman you are planning to marry, that's one thing, and she should usually come first. But if this is just some random hookup or girlfriend, it's not impolite to put your friends or brothers first, and I feel many women complain about it because it means they aren't the sole focus of their man. It's the same as ladies saying chicks before dicks. I don't see the issue. Your friends should be priority over aunts or whatever. Bros before hoes, because gardening is fun, but it's not worth losing a friend. I like the slang rhyme. I also like sisters before misters. Girls can be brothers. Dudes can be hoes. I think it only gets difficult once they use it to justify not spending time with a woman that is not just a fling but long-term, for example a wife. They will still call her a hoe when she is meant to be their family at this point. People find brothers before hoes offensive? What? Well yeah, it's not on the surface but it needs context to be offensive, like it's not offensive depending on the situation. See examples here. Not offensive. Brothers before hoes when a dude's joking around with the boys. Offensive. Brothers before hoes when a man originally makes plans with his serious GF to go party with the boys and then one of them says it disrespectfully. I can agree if it's just a fling. But for a girlfriend? Even if you're not planning on marrying her, not everyone is into marriage, then maybe not. If you're committed to someone to get into an official relationship and become monogamous, then shouldn't that person come first at least mostly? You can't really compare a random hookup and a girlfriend. I think every man says bros before hoes and as soon as he gets a girlfriend he abandons it completely XD. Still fair enough there. What's to stop girls from saying chicks before dicks? It's offensive now. I think what is offensive is referring to all women as hoes. My issue with the phrase is the only people I've seen use it are inconsistent and treat me like shit to begin with. Now that I'm with someone and happy, the same people who would consistently exclude me and only want to hang out when it was convenient for them now feel entitled to my time. I always assumed it was calling women hoes. That was the issue, not the sentiment of the saying. Only in the short term. Who will be by your side at your deathbed, unless you are gay? Probably your wife, right? Brothers before hoes only rings true for hoes. Saying don't ditch a friend for a hookup, but I would pick my wife over any of my friends. Always. I just can't fathom having a girlfriend or wife and calling her a hoe and dismissing her as a hoe. In my language it's more like my boys before gals, and I always interpreted it as putting my friends above a relationship that surely gets me sexy time but at the same time prevents me from seeing my friends. Serious relationships naturally take away some of one's time from their friends, but there are those that take away all, and the latter are certainly not worth it. Food before dudes. Generally, if your friends/family/so are playing the it's me or them card, you don't need them in your life. Ultimatums are very rarely the right answer. If you yourself are consistently blowing off your so for your friends or vice versa, you are the problem and need to learn how to balance and properly maintain the relationships in your personal life. Also, this whole idea of oh unless you plan on marrying them is really antiquated and disrespectful. It's kind of saying hey, I don't plan on spending the rest of my life with this person, so ultimately I don't have to treat them as well. In the age of simps and pick mess, of course this isn't offensive. That's how y'all operate, degrading each other with simplistic idioms instead of actively discussing boundaries and communicating what loyalty means to you or negotiating understanding in ongoing relationships with fluctuating circumstances. Plenty of brothers will intentionally undermine your partnership just as often as a partner might undermine friendships. I'm not offended by the phrases, but I'm not going to sit here and act like they aren't actively harmful to healthy relationship dynamics. Yeah, My brothers definitely come first, pick me. Pick me. Guess hose doesn't mean to you what it means to those who are offended by it? I think the problem is referring to women as the blanket word hoe rather than men putting their friends first face with rolling eyes. Yeah, the phrase itself is mildly offensive, but the idea behind it is sound. Remember who your friends are / who has your back, who's been around and will be, etc., and don't sacrifice that for someone who will most likely be in and out of your life in short order. Who said none of the brothers are girls? Yeah, but do we really have to normalize calling women hoes? Maybe the use of the term hose is offensive, though. Thinking face. Maybe it's the hose part that offends. Why not just reverse dicks before chicks? Maybe it's because of the word, hoe. Brothers before hoes. Why? Because your brothers are always there for you. They have got your back, after your hoe rips your heart out for no good reason. And you were nothing but great to your hoe. And you told her she was the only hoe for you. And that she was better than all the other hoes in the world, and then, suddenly she's not your hoe no mo. The only justification for having an issue with the phrase is that the word hose by itself is slightly derogatory, but I don't see any issue with the sentiment. The boys comes first I don't see anything wrong with. The problem is calling women hoes. The problem lies mostly with society labeling women as whores and it being a traditionally derogatory term against exclusively women that was used as part of a system to control women at large and punish women for choices. You may not mean it that way, but you cannot change the historical and social context. It's the same as that white teacher that was calling some kid the N-word trying to relate to him and all that. No matter how you mean it, you can't erase its association with oppressing women. It doesn't matter if you're a woman, either. You can easily be part of a marginalized class, and perpetuate sentiments that harm that class. I hate people who just dump their friends when they get a partner. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Evie.